As you know, TCL dropped a couple of models in the same year. The question many have is, which one to get? Fair question. They look the same, the names are almost the same, the spec sheets are, honestly, they're kind of a mess to compare. I've been a QM8K user for a few months now. Got some hands-on time with the QM9K recently too. Here's what I think. Just make sure to follow our official links for the latest discounts. The brightness thing. Everyone wants to talk about brightness first, so let's just get into it. QM9K goes up to 6500 nits. At least that's what TCL says. In actual testing, it's more like 4000 to 4400 depending on the content and who's measuring. Still crazy bright. Is that difference noticeable? Yeah, it is sometimes. Watched the same HDR demo on both. The QM9K definitely had more pop in the highlights. Sunlight looked more intense. Explosions had more of that sear quality. But here's the thing, and I want to be clear about this. The QM8K is already brighter than like 95% of the TVs out there. We compare extremely bright to insanely bright. For most living rooms with normal lighting, you're not gonna feel deprived with the QM8K. You're just not. If your room is basically a greenhouse with windows everywhere and you watch during the day a lot, then okay, the extra brightness helps. Otherwise, it's kind of a wash. I should mention both use quantum dot. Rich colors, wide color gamut, all that good stuff. Reds look red, blues look blue, greens don't go all neon and weird. TCL has gotten really good at this part. Neither TV disappoints on color, like at all. The dimming zones. QM9K has more, like a lot more, around 6,000 zones on the bigger sizes versus maybe 3,800 on the QM8K. More zones should mean better control over the backlight, less blooming, cleaner blacks next to bright stuff. And yeah, the QM9K does handle that a bit better. Watching scenes with like a bright light source against a dark background, the QM9K keeps things tighter. But I gotta be real with you. Unless you're actively looking for blooming, you probably won't notice the difference during normal watching. I had to pause specific scenes and really stare at the edges to see it. That's not how anyone actually watches TV. Both use TCL's WHVA panel, which is the wide viewing angle VA thing. Colors hold up better from the side, good for when you've got people spread across the room. And both have this anti-reflective coating. The QM9K's is supposedly better, more effective at cutting glare. In my experience, they both handle reflections pretty well. Not as good as Samsung's matte screens, but way better than glossy panels from a few years ago. You can watch during the day without seeing yourself the whole time. Contrast is strong on both. That's where Mini-LED shines. Black levels that actually look black, not that grayish, washed-out thing you get on cheaper LED TVs. The QM9K technically has better native contrast, but we're splitting hairs. Put on a movie at night, turn off the lights, and both of these look really, really good. Motion. Honestly, this is where I have issues. Look, I like TCL. They make great TVs for the money. But motion handling is not their strong point, and that's true on both of these. 24 FPS content can get stuttery. Camera pans sometimes have this judder thing going on. I noticed it watching some Netflix stuff. Noticed it on Blu-rays too. It's not horrible, but if you're used to how Sony or LG handles motion, you'll probably see it. You can fix it mostly. Go into the motion settings and set judder reduction to like 2 or 3. Cleans it up without making everything look like a soap opera. But out of the box, it's not amazing. The QM9K isn't really better here. Same 144Hz panel, same motion rate 480, same basic processing. Maybe firmware will improve it over time, but right now they're about equal. And that equality is fine but not great. Just wanted to be upfront about that. Gaming stuff. Okay, so both are actually pretty good for gaming. 144Hz native, HDMI 2.1 on 2 ports, VRR, FreeSync Premium Pro, all the stuff. You can do 4K 120Hz on PS5, no problem. Xbox too. Input lag is about 13 milliseconds at 4K 60, drops to about 5 milliseconds at 4K 120. That's solid. Not the absolute best, Samsung and LG still beat it, but it's well under where you'd actually feel any delay. The QM9K's brightness does make HDR games look a bit better, more dramatic. but we're talking marginal stuff. If you're not putting them side by side, you're not going to think that the QM8K looks bad, because it doesn't. Only 2 HDMI 2.1 ports on each though. Keep that in mind if you've got a lot of stuff to plug in. PS5, Xbox, gaming PC, and you're already out of high bandwidth ports. Kind of annoying, but it's standard for most brands now outside of LG and Samsung's higher-end stuff. That Gemini AI thing on the QM9K. So the QM9K has Google's Gemini AI built in. It's the first TV with it. You can ask it questions and get recommendations and whatever. Is it cool? Sure, I guess. Is it a reason to buy the QM9K? No, not really. TCL already said Gemini is coming to the QM8K eventually anyway. The presence sensor is actually useful though. TV wakes up when you walk in the room, goes to sleep when you leave. That's nice. QM8K doesn't have it. Both support basically every HDR format. Dolby Vision IQ, HDR10+, HDR10, HLG. You're covered no matter what streaming service you use or what discs you're playing. The IQ part adjusts based on room lighting, which is neat. Works pretty well in my experience. They both run Google TV. Same interface, same apps, same everything. Same work with Alexa, Google Assistant, HomeKit, AirPlay 2 if you're in the Apple world. Chromecast built in too. Audio. Both have the Bang & Olufsen branding. Both sound okay. The QM9K sounds a little fuller with more bass apparently. Some reviewers mentioned that. Dialogue comes through clear on both, which is the main thing honestly. Dolby Atmos support, DTS, the usual. There's this Biosonic interface thing in the settings, where you move a cursor around between relaxed and energetic and warm and bright to tune the sound. Kind of gimmicky, but it works, I guess. Better than just having preset EQ options. The QM9K has slightly better speakers, no question. More oomph. Upfire drivers for height effects. But these are still TV speakers here. Here's my thing. If you care enough about audio to notice the difference between these two sets of built-in speakers, just buy a soundbar. Seriously, a $200 soundbar will destroy both of them. Don't make audio a key factor here. Design. They look basically the same. Thin bezels, slim profile, premium-ish. The TCL team has a name for it, Zero Border. The QM9K has slightly nicer materials. Aerospace-grade aluminum apparently. Brushed metal finish that catches the light nicely. Remotes are similar too. The QM9K's remote has a more premium feel, a bit more weight to it. Both have backlight, Netflix, Prime, YouTube buttons on both too. Cable management is decent on both. Some clips and channels in the back to route your HDMI cables. Nothing fancy, but it works. Wall mounting should be straightforward. Standard VESA patterns. If you've mounted a TV before, you know what to do. So, which one? The QM8K is the smart buy. I'm just gonna say it. You get like 90% of the performance, maybe more, and you save a decent chunk of money. It's bright enough. It's got enough dimming zones. It plays games well. It looks good. Multiple reviewers have called it the best value in TVs right now, and I think they're right. The QM9K makes sense if you go really big, like 85 inches or bigger. At those sizes, the extra brightness and extra zones start to matter more. Or if you're putting this in a super bright room. Or if you just want the best and the price gap doesn't bother you. But for most people watching in most rooms, QM8K. That's the one. Links are in the description if you want current pricing. Go see what deals are running. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe if this helped and keep it valid.